Well, why MPG was created, that's indeed a good question. You must bear in mind, and we are talking about the 90s, that the number of migrants coming to Europe was increasing on a scale that was unprecedented in Europe's post-war history. And secondly, I mean, there was a rise in racism and discrimination as well. And both issues were calling for responses from civil society and government. And the fact was that there was in Europe hardly an infrastructure for consultation and cooperation, let alone for policy making. And it was at that point that we stepped in and that we started to think about bringing together organizations and persons to consult, to work together. And that was not easy, as you may understand, because if I say there was no infrastructure, it means there was no internet. Telephones were very, very expensive, and flying, I mean, it cost a fortune. So we started almost from scratch, bringing people together to start thinking about policy responses. We were of the opinion that it needed to be European responses. We saw that governments were meeting in small working parties behind closed doors, but we also noticed that NGOs were very reluctant to work together on a European level. It is what we call nowadays Euroscepticism. They were afraid that the policies that were in place at the national level would be reinforced by European measures. So they were very reluctant in the beginning. They were more at ease in analyzing what was going wrong and raised their voice. And we understood that completely. But we thought that that was not enough. We need to do more than analyzing and sharing information. We were the publisher of the Migration News Sheet, the only publication of its kind. We shared analysis. We thought that we had to go one step further and make very precise and concrete policy proposals. And that was the other reason why we created MPG. We did not want to be just another NGO, this time working on the European level. We wanted to put forward concrete, well-researched policy proposals. We were new, and we had to, if I may say so, we had to sell the concept of European cooperation on policy-oriented research and consultation in a constructive way. And that was a challenge because not everybody believed in it. And of course, there was this eternal problem. Oh, okay, who's going to pay for it? And we wanted to keep our independence. So we couldn't go to all kinds of organizations asking for money because we were afraid that we would lose our independence. But luckily, we found a couple of like-minded foundations who were willing to sponsor us. Well, the biggest achievement is that we survived, if I may say so. That was really not easy, but we managed. The achievement is that we got followers. People began to understand what the purpose of the organization was. And I have to immediately add, we were very productive. We produced the Migration News Sheet. We started to produce policy briefs, and we organized consultations between NGOs, but also between NGOs and officials of the European Commission and European Parliament. And so I think in 5 years' time, we had a very, very good reputation. Impact measuring is always difficult because there are so many factors that play a role. But we succeeded in our promotion for the adoption of EU anti-discrimination legislation, for example. We were able to bring together NGOs in, for example, ENAR, the European Network Against Racism, in the specialized equality bodies. We promoted proposals for European migration policies, and that, I think, we produced the handbooks, the EU handbooks for integration. And so I think our impact was that we showed the way and created in doing so an infrastructure of organizations that trusted each other, moving the agenda forward. We were from the beginning aware that we could not fix all issues for once and forever. Migration, equal treatment, and diversity are all issues that are staying with us. There will be challenges which are the same and different. So there are no quick and there are no eternal fixes. So that makes, I think, my predictable answer clear, that we will forever need an organization like MPG, and I'm very proud to have been for many years part of that organization. Remaining faithful to your mission, be creative in ways to respond to current developments, and creative also in finding the right people to carry forward this work.